Everyone has a different opinion of the U.S. Mexico border. Some people in the United States view the border as a transition to a glorious land of reckless and sometimes underage drinking and a fun time. Others see it as a problem, a hazard that lets illegal immigrants trickle through into the U.S. and steal the jobs of the American people. On the Mexican side of the border, it can be seen as the final obstacle between them and a better life and the opportunity of a solid job to support their family. 6 minutes will investigate both sides.
When Hernan Cortés conquered Central America, Spain colonized the area. In 1819, the U.S. and Spain established a border of territories. In 1821, Mexico won its independence from Spain and created a republic a few years later. After the winning of their independence, Mexico permitted the colonization of Texas. Soon there was a struggle for Texas independence. In 1846, this U.S.-Mexican War began and continued until 1847, when a treaty was established. In 1904, the first border patrol was established to prevent Chinese workers from sneaking into the U.S. from Mexico so they could get work. Then, in 1910, the Mexican Revolution began and hundreds of people fled across the border to escape from the chaos. The Immigration Act of 1924 halts Mexican immigration, and stations are set up to permit Mexican workers to go through the U.S., but they are taxed. In 1953, Operation Wetback, U.S. immigration deports 4 million Mexicans. In 1996, President Bill Clinton cracked down on legal immigration from Mexico and funds the Border Patrol, seeing it as a major police force. To this day, immigration laws still remain strict.
Neil is the head of San Diego Christians for Secure Borders. He has brought his friend Sue with him, who supports the same cause as Neil. We interviewed Neil B. Turner and his friend Sue to better understand what Minutemen think of the border. So Neil, how did you first get started protecting the border and your Minuteman business?
Well, about a year ago, I was at Camp Pendleton demonstrating for the troops, and a fellow who was head of San Diego Minutemen came by to help us demonstrate for the troops, and I heard about the movement and decided that it was time for me to take action and get involved to secure our country and the sovereignty of this country.
Neil has started an organization where you can hire legal immigrants and ex-Marines to do the same type of work that illegal immigrants will do. Since most people who hire illegal aliens are doing it because the aliens are, their pay rates are much cheaper and you can hire them for very cheap, would you hire patriots and Americans for the same price?
Yes, they're run between $10 and $15 an hour. And I usually tell people when they come to hire an illegal that if you will take that cell phone off your waist and call this number, I won't bother you anymore with the felony you're about to commit. You see, it is a felony subject to a $10,000 fine by our laws to hire or aid and abet illegal immigration. Hire a legal American. And the reason I want to see that done is because I'm a strong advocate of borders, language, and culture. The only way we can preserve this America that you and I know is to preserve our borders, to preserve our language. One language will unite us and our culture as Americans. Now, what is American culture? It is a culture of obeying the law, and respecting human rights. And we can only do that by securing our borders and keeping out all, well, it's to make sure that people assimilate into our society.
Both Neil and Sue believe that you should hire legal immigrants to do domestic chores.
Like something, I would like some nice cheap labor myself, but I have decided that my country means a lot more to me than saving a few dollars an hour to hire someone.
We went to Point Loma, Nazareth to interview college students about their opinions on the border, so we could study the varied opinions of the youth.
For the most part, I would say as a Christian, I believe that the world collectively belongs to God and that we are all human and equal. So the idea of borders is one that's a little troubling for me.
There is such a large population of Latinos living in the United States, legal or illegal immigrants. And with the border as it is, it's extraordinarily porous, and that makes it difficult to enforce. We've tried a number of different routes to enforce it, and it's I think that there have been a lot of dead ends with that.
I believe that immigration is something that is necessary in America. I know that some towns have actually tried to thoroughly go through and take out all the immigrants that have been working in their towns, and have found out that nobody wants to do the jobs that the immigrants had left. So they had to bring them back in. So I feel like who's going to do all, if we're talking about immigration, Mexicans coming in, and that's what Bush is trying to tackle right now. Maybe the working visas will work, I'm not really sure.
My opinions on the U.S. Mexico border and immigration. I find it interesting that we are a nation founded on the idea of just letting people in and just kind of this big melting pot of people that comes together under one idea of just freedom, and yet we're now to a point where we have to kind of restrict who comes in.
We asked Dulce Smith, a woman who immigrated legally to the United States at age 13, what her opinion on the border was.
My opinion about the border situation is that there's no really easy answers, and that it will take a lot of time, a lot of negotiation, and a lot of effort from both countries to really find a real solution. A bigger wall, a stronger fence, people holding hand to hand to try to stop, it's not going to happen, because people are in need, and a lot of people come here not because they want to, but because they have to. They literally don't see any other escape. I mean, people risk their lives. People die every day trying to cross, and then and then some of us that make it out the way over here, and thankfully I'm a U.S. citizen now, and I'm very happy and proud of that. But it also makes me wonder, what about everybody else that's trying to make it? What's going to happen to them?
Yeah, everyone has a different opinion on the border.
Some positive.
And some negative.
But all of their opinions matter.
This has been 6 Minutes reporting.